Welcome back to Series Sports. We're going to start a new segment this week. Segment I'm excited about. Hope you are too. This is our power rankings. We're going to do one every quarter of the season. This is the first quarter, so that's after week 4. We're going to do another one after week 8, and then another after week 12, and then again at the end of the season. Couple teams that didn't make my power rankings, seeing as I'm only doing the top 10. The top 10 are the only ones that really matter. After that, it's not a big deal, seeing as only the top 12 teams actually even make the playoffs. A couple teams that missed out are the Packers, the Texans, the Bears, the 49ers. Just teams I didn't think were good enough for what they should be to be in the top 10. So without any further ado, let's get started. Number 10! Alright, at number 10, we have the Indianapolis Colts. I picked the Colts to be the only 2-2 team in my top 10 because of the way they outscore their opponents by a score of 41 points. The two games that they lost were against really good teams, the Broncos and the Eagles, both teams in the top 10 of my power rankings. And although the two games they won were against the Titans and the Jaguars, both not really good teams, but they're divisional teams. Divisional games are always harder to win than regular conference games or out-of-conference games. So you gotta give it to the Colts for this. Also, Andy Luck is playing at MVP level, although he probably won't get the MVP. The defense is playing a lot better than expected. So at 10, we have the Colts. Number 9. At number 9, we have the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are 3-1. One loss coming to a really good team against the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 1. The 3 games they won were blowouts. Blew out the Steelers, blew out the Panthers, blew out some decent teams. Now the Ravens, without Ray Rice, their running game is kind of iffy, if you could call it that. However, Steve Smith has been carrying the team on his back. Showed the Panthers how much they missed him. And Joe Flacco's been getting it done. The defense, Ravens defense, has been getting it done even more. The way they shut down Le'Veon Bell in that Week 2 game was really impressive. And that's why they deserve a spot in the top 10. Numero 8. At number 8, I have the Detroit Lions. The tandem between Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson is just unreal, unparalleled in all of the NFL right now. However, last game, they didn't even have Calvin Johnson. They still managed to win. He got passes out to Golden Tate, a couple of his tight ends. Even Reggie Bush got in on the action. And they're a pretty good team. Their defense has been playing extremely well, even after that guy got hurt after that celebration. His backup came in and played really well. There's really not much more I could say about the Lions. They're exceeding expectations. They're the best team in the NFC North, better than the Packers and the Bears right now. And that's why they deserve the 8th spot on my top 10. Number 7. My number 7 pick may surprise some people. I picked the Dallas Cowboys. They're 3-1 right now, outscoring their opponents by 29 points. DeMarco Murray's been running the ball like it's his job or something. Tony Romo really hasn't made too many mistakes outside the first game of the season. And the defense has been playing extremely well, considering they were ranked the worst defense in the league last year and lost so many pieces over the offseason. So the Cowboys surprisingly find their way to number 7 on my list. Don't be surprised, however, if they still finish the season 8-8, because that's how the Cowboys roll. They always start off really strong like this. They're always ranked top in offense in the beginning of the season, and come December, they always fall apart. Don't be surprised if they finish 8-8. Also, don't be surprised if they finish as good as 12-4, make the playoffs, win the division. Something like that could happen too. Here goes, number 6. At number 6, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have been playing much better defensively than they did last year. Their offense is rolling really fast, too. The addition of Darren Sproles has been a big deal for them. And it's good to see that in their last game, the defense scored 3 touchdowns. However, I only have them at 6 because at times it seems like they're having trouble running the ball because their offensive line has had so much trouble. In the past 2 games, LaShawn McCoy has barely even gotten going. Last game he had 10 rushes for 17 yards. It's 1.7 yards per attempt. That's like going nowhere for one of the best running backs in the league. So that's why the Eagles are only 6. They could be higher if the offensive line and running game looked a little bit better in the last 2 games. That's why they sit here at number 6. After 6 comes number 5. At number 5, we have one of the 2 undefeated teams, the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals probably should be a little bit higher on the list because they are undefeated. However, their games have been really close. They only have outscored opponents by 21 points. That's not that big considering they played the Giants before the Giants offense got rolling and the 49ers who have been struggling a lot this year. They did have a really big win against the San Diego Chargers, but that was back when Carson Palmer was the quarterback. Now Palmer has been hurt. He may come back soon, but with Drew Stanton, they're just really not a top 4 team. That's why the Cardinals at number 5. They're also missing a few pieces on the defensive end. Kind of hurts their potential. They could still end up making the wild card team. I don't think they're going to win the division, but they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. They're going to have a couple tough games. If they beat Denver this week, that would be really impressive. Don't think it's going to happen, but if they do, then they deserve to be higher on this list, obviously. Look at that. It's number 4. At number 4, we have the team I just mentioned, the Denver Broncos. The Broncos' key pickups on their defense has looked really good this year. DeMarcus Ware, TJ Ward, Aqib Talib, the rookie cornerback, Bradley Roby, all doing what they can to make that defense a little bit tougher so that they can play against the better teams again this year. Offense is looking good, except the running game needs a lot more work. Monte Ball just can't carry the load that Noshawn Moreno can. Maybe he'll turn around. Maybe he'll get a little bit better. Maybe a little bit more offensive creativeness from Adam Gase will get Monte Ball the more work he needs running the ball. We'll see what happens. Their one loss comes against the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, which is one of the hardest places to go in to and win, and they only lost in overtime after a really exciting fourth quarter 58-second drive that ended in a 2-point conversion where Demaryius Thomas looks like he stretches his legs all the way out like Gumby to get his feet into the back of the end zone. It was really impressive. The 2 wins come against good teams too, the Colts and the Chiefs. Chiefs showed what they could do Monday night against the Patriots, so that win looks a little bit more impressive. Number 3. At number 3 is the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Seattle Seahawks. They're a very dominant team, all phases of the football. The offense, defense, even special teams, playing outstanding football. The reason they're only number 3 is they lost to the San Diego Chargers in San Diego in a game where their defense was a little bit exposed. Also, they almost lost to the Broncos if it wasn't for that overtime drive where Russell Wilson really controlled the offense, played really good ball. They might have lost to the Broncos. But that's another reason they're ahead of the Broncos, because Russell Wilson was able to control the whole game in overtime. when there was no pass, he didn't force a pass. He ran the ball, took it out of bounds, said, here we go, start over. That's why they're number 3. Oh my gosh, we're so close. Number 2. Now my number 2 pick is really going to surprise a lot of people, especially if you know me, because most people know I'm a big Denver Bronco fan. My number 2 pick is the San Diego Chargers. They've really been playing some really, really good football. The defense has been impressive. Their offense, Phillip Rivers is making his case for MVP this year after last year winning comeback player of the game. I hate it, but it's the truth. They're playing great football. They beat the Seattle Seahawks. They targeted all their secondary, not just Richard Sherman. They targeted all the best secondary in the league. Their one loss coming to a good Arizona Cardinals team in Arizona. It was a 1-point game. Can't really hold that against them. They could have finished it, but it was a tough game. And that's why they're at number 2. Drum roll, please. Alright, and at number 1, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are 3-0, one of the 2 undefeated teams. They really look like the most complete team. Andy Dalton's doing good work with what he has. A.J. Green is A.J. Green. Giovanni Bernard has been carrying the load like no other. I would call him the second best running back in the game right now behind DeMarco Murray. The defense has been playing really well. Mike Nugent's been making hella kicks. And they're the best team right now. That's all I have to say about that. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Power Rankings video. There's more to come of these. Please subscribe to my channel. Like my Facebook page. If you like my videos, give me a couple thumbs up. Comment on how you think I can make them better. Did a little bit of working with editing in Windows Movie Maker this week. This was like my first time doing that to a real extent, so hope it went well.